Hello everyone, Flick here and welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted, my bi-weekly give or take, although this one is definitely or take. I think it's only been like a week, maybe 8 days since the last one, but as you can see I've been keeping very busy with the painting. Yes, it's mostly Gotham City Chronicles again, but this time we do have some Marvel Crisis Protocol on the left here to go over real quick, and finally getting off my butt and getting a start on the Blackstone Fortress minis. It's been a long time since I've painted a miniature by Games Workshop, but we'll talk more about that in a second once we get to them. But figured I'd have to get started on it if I want to eventually cover the game, which I do, but it's still going to be a while, because you need to have basically the entire box painted before you can even run it, because you need all the minis. Not all of them straight away, but like 90%. So, again, been painting a lot of Gotham City Chronicles, this whole chunk here, because I've been thoroughly enjoying that game. But let's start left to right, as always, with the latter half of the Black Order, other than Thanos, who you'll have hopefully seen the unboxing of. He's just arrived. This is Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf. Let's start with Ebony Maw. I did him second, but I'm least happy with him. He's so small and thin that I struggle with the detail. Again, everything done in contrast, if you aren't familiar with these videos. Black Templar, and in yellow. And once I'd finished it all, to the usual standard, also Agrax Earthshade over the top to add a bit more definition. I was like, I'm not really happy with this, so I might as well try and add something that might make it a little better looking. So I took some Talisar Blue contrast and did his eyes for one, because he's supposed to have like glowing blue eyes apparently, according to his stat card. Then I added that to his fingers, and then did a little bit of outlining on the metal and stone that he's using to levitate on, to just imply, oh look, he's using his psychic powers. He didn't do any, like, you couldn't see that in the cinematic universe, but I thought it just makes it look a little bit better, a little bit. And again, he is so small that it is hard. I mean, I find it difficult to pick out detail in miniatures this size. Similarly to, like, I mean, no disrespect to Ebony Maw, but he has the figure of a female, and female miniatures are, I find them very difficult to paint because they're not chunky for the most part. Whereas chunky men, you just put Guilliman flesh on and then boom, they're done for the most part. So anyway, that is Ebony Maw. He's joining Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive is finished. And then the large lad of the Black Order, whose stats don't reflect his size. I think they should have made him a little bit smaller, but I feel like they might have used a little bit of the Hulk in here somewhere, because he is the same size as the Hulk. This is Black Dwarf, otherwise known as Cull Obsidian, apparently, according to Marvel Strike Force anyway. I was really torn for what skin colour to give him, because it is so varied. In the art on his card, it's very clearly brown. On the box, it's very similar to this. In the mobile phone game I play with some friends, it's kind of like a darker blackish brownish. Also, that's a very loud ancient car going past my window. What is it with cars distracting me from videos? So basically, I couldn't see any consistency with what skin colour he's supposed to have. I opted for the box art as close as I could get to it with contrast. So this is the Plaguebearer flesh contrast with Agrax over the top, and Skeletal Horde for the Doomsday-esque bone parts sticking out of him. When I did the unboxing, I got a chicken leg and I had no idea what it was. It was his forehead bones, and they forgot to add that step in the assembly instructions, which is why I couldn't work out for the life of me what is it. For his armour, I opted just to do silver and then Space Wolves contrast over the top, and that is Glyphound orange on his, I've forgotten the name of the axe. Oh, I had a fancy name, I thought. No, can't remember. I'm okay with how this turned out. I'm quite happy. Oh, there's a dab of Shyless purple on the bits that are supposed to be purple in his belt buckle and whatever that thing is over his chest there. But yeah, I'm happy with how that one came out. I should have brought the other two down here so we could see all the Black Order together, but you will see that. I think the next video up on the channel is going to be a battle report with all the Black Order. Not Thanos, because you can't fit him in and he's not painted yet. So anyway, Blackstone Fortress. 2 of the 4 heroes that will be playing in the campaign until they die or win. So I don't remember either of their names. I think it's you something. I painted this one first because I love it. The Imperial Robot. His backstory is that he's an AI that's like gained sentience, but he pretends not to. Because if he reveals himself, the Imperium would murder him. So he just pretends to be a helpful little robot that shoots people, but he's actually an intelligent super AI. That is Aethermatic Blue contrast with Agrax over the top, got found on there, and silver for the rest. I used the exact same strategy for this as I used for a Protectron from Fallout Wasteland Warfare like 5 of these videos back. Exact same paint job, obviously different looking. It's been a while since I have painted anything from Games Workshop. I have problems with Games Workshop, but their miniatures quality is not one of them. I find it hard to deal with their miniatures quality because I don't think my painting ever does it true justice. Especially when it's a massively detailed elven lady like this. I did the best I could, but it's still not as good as I would like for such a nice looking mini, and this is again one of the playable characters for Blackstone Fortress. Don't remember her name. I like to pretend in my head canon this is the character I play in Vermintide 2, the video game. I play the elven lady in that. This is her teleported to the 40k universe, and she's still murdering whatever stands in her way. The main colour here is warp lining green, and I just used grey sear. I didn't go over it with apothecary white contrast, just grey sear with a wash, and I think that turned out better, I feel. And Black Templar for a gun, and you know, the same colours I've been mentioning essentially. But yep, that's 2 out of the 4 heroes, and once the heroes are done, there's like 30 or 40 like beastmen, traitor guardsmen. So yeah, if you don't care about Gotham City Chronicles, now's the time to back out, because everything else is Gotham City Chronicles, and I'm going to go over the stuff that was in the most recent battle report, because you'll hopefully have seen them. Just a safe, it's another prop. Silver with a wash, Talisar blue on the book and pen on the top, simple as. And you also have seen Penguin's gang, his net men. Now I did say when I did the unboxing of Gotham City Chronicles I wasn't going to model them with the net. I changed my mind because it makes them, it's like on the table they're like that small. It makes them really stand out so you know where they are. So that's a simple decision I made on that. Come on, get them. Oh, I have to do the hand thing every time. Apparently I do. Black Templar for their tops, Wildwood for their trousers. I don't really get their weird kind of skull faces. I don't see what that has to do with the penguin. I have actually seen the comic these are from. They're from a comic where not a single word of dialogue is spoken. It's all done in pictures. And these guys are in it, and they actually capture Batman with these net guns. But I still don't get why their masks look the way they do, because they look like skulls to me, not penguins. But I don't know. It's an interesting comic, if nothing else. I know Marvel did the same thing with a series of comics called Nuff Said, I believe. Just a series of stories where there was no dialogue. I don't know who did it first. I don't know who was plagiarising who. So, everything else here, I think... No, you know what? Other than Black Mask. Let's just quickly do Black Mask. And guess what colour I used for him. Other than Black Mask here, every other miniature here is from one of the expansions to Season 1 of Gotham City Chronicles. Either the Arkham Asylum expansion or the Wayne Manor expansion. And that is to mix in other missions using different maps, because the base game only has 4 maps. So, we have Bruce Wayne. Just bog standard Bruce Wayne. Isn't it weird that Bruce Wayne can fight kind of like Batman? You ever seen those two in the same room together? So there we go. Again, guess what colour was primarily used on him, and also, of course, his faithful butler, Alfred Pennyworth. Putting his dukes up. He's going to be in the next Gotham City Chronicles recorded, and it's a wonderful scenario where he has to fend off criminals breaking into Wayne Manor and stealing valuables. I also love that it looks like he and Bruce are about to throw down. Oh, get in focus. There we are. They're about to throw down against each other, which is amusing. So also for that scenario, this is the villain. Ow, I just stabbed myself on his tusk. This is Tusk, and I stabbed myself on his tusk. Is that ironic or just annoying? So very similar to how I painted Shen Fang, but I did put Apothecary over him. I didn't go all over him with known oil afterwards. I just did it in the deepest parts of the creases, and he has a lot of creases. I really like how he looks from behind. I think the creases look great. From the front, not so much. He's a very, very chunky lad though, and the creases took contrast well. If you didn't want to use the non-oil, you really didn't need to if you just used Apothecary White. As bad as that contrast, pardon me, is. So also in the next scenario, you're going to be seeing Batbots. These are the defenders of the Batcave and also Wayne Manor, which is slightly suspicious. Why would Bruce Wayne have, and who cares? I believe these are from Batman Incorporated. I'm pretty sure I recognise them from that. I think they're pure black in that, but I copied how Monolith has done them, and they're silver with black, kind of like in-betweeny bits of the armour. with the bat symbol on the front. So 3 of these will be in the next scenario. You don't actually need all 4s, I think. Yeah, I've actually got it open next to, like, just over there. I can see it. It only needs 3, but all 4 got done because henchmen come in 4s. So then, everything else here is from the Arkham Asylum expansion. This is Victor Zayez, complete with his many, many marks that he likes putting on himself for every victim he's ever claimed with his knife. Very simple model to paint, Guilliman flesh, Griffhound orange, etc. Cheap and cheerful. He's in the first mission we'll probably end up doing from that expansion as well, which is why he was prioritised. We'll do this one last because he's a fun explanation. These are 4 crazy inmates of Arkham Asylum. It's like those guys in the game Arkham Asylum that just run at you and you have to throw them off you. Like they're there for jump scares essentially. They just scream at you and then if you don't counter they grab your head. So again, they did not get Apothecary White on them. That is just purely a Grey Seer base with a wash over the top and then snakebite leather for like the straitjacket straps. And 4 of them will be featured in the first Arkham Asylum mission we end up doing, which I'm looking forward to because they are very fun. And the hero actually gets control of them in it as well, which is weird. So last model for this time around. This is a super swole Joker, except it's not Joker. It is Clayface pretending to be Joker, who is also pretending or actually did take a Venom derivative that I've forgotten the name of given to him by White Rabbit. That clear? So he fights Batman like this, all buffed up, and Batman's thinking at first, oh, it's Joker and he's taking the drug, but it's actually just Clayface pretending. So I wasn't sure what to do for his skin, because Joker does have weird skin. So what I did do, Grey Seer, and then a Biletan green wash, and then Agrex Earthshade wash. So this is a double wash on a base coat. No contrast for his skin. Warp Lightning for his hair, Blood Angels for his lips, and then Shyless Purple with highlighting for his pants. And I always use Basilicanum Grey with Agrex for the bases. I actually really like the miniature, even though it's silly and convoluted that it looks like this, but the Arkham Asylum missions heavily feature Clayface as Joker, as a drugged up Joker. It's weird, it's fun, you know, comic books and all that jazz. I'm happy with that, how it turned out. I've never done like just a base double wash. It's very strange, but for the effect I was looking for, I think it sort of worked. So that is 8 days or something worth. I'm cracking through these henchmen for Gotham City Chronicles. It helps that I'm doing them all uniformly, I think, anyway. So next update, hopefully we're going to see Thanos. I might do a painting video on Thanos with his throne complete as well. Definitely more Gotham City Chronicles. I've got like 6 models just off camera over here. Can I pull back and you can see them? Not quite. You just have to take my word for it. There's some just to the left. So those will be getting done. Some more Blackstone Fortress, the other 2 heroes that I hope to have done as well, so I have a hero roster done and then just need to do all the henchmen and minis in the box. And who knows what else. More God tier eventually, just got to get around to putting it on the block. It helps that a lot of the Gotham City Chronicle miniatures are very, very easy to paint with contrast. It doesn't take a lot of skill. The Games Workshop minis and the more complex minis, they take a while. They have to be worked up to if you're not very good at painting. As always, feel free to tweet at me with the miniatures you've been painting. I like seeing them. I try and respond to everything I can. At GamerEND on Twitter. And remember to subscribe if you want to see more tabletop gaming content. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the future. Ta-ta for now.